and you said that usually you were the 5th or 6th person to read the script. And I was wondering if you ever read the script and went back to one of the writers and said, I don't think this is something my character would do, or it's more reminiscent of a previous Doctor.
Well, no, actually, with Doctor Who, I didn't. I mean, I think I might do that more nowadays, because I've got a bit older and you develop and, you know, but I was always mindful of trying to make, Stephen was always mindful of trying to be separate about the previous Doctors, but if ever I felt that, I'd call it out on set and I'd go, well, you know, like for instance, they didn't want me to salute one day because they said the Doctor didn't salute, and I was like, really? But I didn't know that. But if David's Doctor didn't salute, and that actually my Doctor saluted, you know, you can sort of make it up as you go along, really, in many respects. So, yeah, but you try and be as forensic as possible with the scripts as you can, but also I was really fortunate to have, you know, majoritively really brilliant writing all the time, so didn't need to do that so much, but I think it's good to do that, actually, and there's times when I wish I'd done it a bit more, but, you know, when it came to Stephen, they were always just so great. Yeah. And also, you're just worried about learning it, really. There's so much to learn. It's like nothing. It's like no other job in that respect. So much dialogue constantly. That's your life.
But good dialogue.
Yeah, wonderful dialogue. The best.
Next question. I love how they just pop up like groundhogs.
Hello, sweetie.
Hello.
So, you're my first, you're my favorite, so suck it 10.
Oh, that's not very much, but you know.
In this way. Never mind.
Sorry, I missed that, but it sounded interesting.
To quote River, I also said it in my wedding vows, you are loved by so many and so much, but by no one more than us. So will you please come back next year?
Thank you for the song. The problem is, it's someone else's to fly, and I've got to be a fan and watch, and you know, from the wings, as it were. And it's Jodie's now. You're
I
a
went to
lover.
Dragon Con.
Oh. How terribly
I knew what you meant, girl.
You can see why my ego got the better of you there. Oh yeah, no, I'll come back to you. Yeah, cool. How terribly embarrassing. Oh yeah, obviously you're assuming that. I mean, I would, but I can't. Oh dear.
Hey, but that says a lot to you that he's like, no, I won't go back to the show, but I'll come back to all of you.
Yeah.
I'm trying to save it.
You did say that.
Next question.
Hi. I was just gonna ask, who is your favorite Doctor?
Very good question. Well, it's tricky this because I love the, you know, the sort of new three, as it were, Chris and David and Peter, because you know, because I've connected with their episodes in such an immediate way, and I don't really want to pick one of those because I see them all, and I love them all for different reasons. You know, like I love Chris's Doctor. I think.
Me too.
Yeah, I think it was such a great Doctor. You know, I wish we got a bit more. And anyway, but of the older Doctors, I would say one called Patrick Troughton. Do you know him? Because he had this sort of mad doctory face, and there was, yeah, I think there's just something about him that's just wonderful, you know, really doctory, whatever that means. Good question.
Next one.
Hi, it's Caitlin.
Hi.
I will have a couple questions. One of them is, what is the biggest misfortune you ever had on the set?
Oh, that's a very good question. I mean, we were quite lucky. I had my knee quite badly once. Actually, in the 11th hour, there's a scene on the green where I'm the raggedy doctor and I put my hand up and I've got a sonic and it blows up and it doesn't work and I'm like, oh, no. And actually, on the day it blew up in my hand, it could have been bad. It could have been, really bad. But it wasn't. So, that's that bit of the question. Part 2.
And the second question is, if there was a character on the show you would date, who would it be?
Not River. Who would I date? Good question. Drax. Maybe Vastra. Vastra's pretty hot, isn't she? She's like a hot lizard. Kind of hot. Gage, whatever. It's, it's the modern world. Okay, well, do you know what? Jenny. I'd date Jenny because she's a cool ninja chick. Who would you date if it wasn't the Doctor?
Jack Harkness.
Nice.
Next question.
Hi, I'm Alex. My
Hi.
question is, what is the hardest scene for you to film?
Hard. So many for different reasons, really, because, often when you're on a film set, you might just be cold, or it might be like... Do you know what was really hard, actually? Was the episode with Craig, with James Corden, who plays Craig. When we're in the shopping centre, because it was all at night, and we were just exhausted, and it was at the end of the shoot, and it was like 5, 6 in the morning every night for ages, because they had to close down the shopping centre. And that was pretty tough, but we had a lot of fun. And that's the thing with Doctor Who, it's tough, but it's fun, because the stories are so fun. The actors around you are so pleased to be there, and so yin and yang. So it's all pretty tough, but it's all pretty brilliant as well.
Good question. Thanks.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Genevieve, and I'm like a huge fan of Doctor Who 11.
Oh, thanks. Cheers, mate.
So my question is, how did you prepare for the episodes where it's like tear-jerking, like everybody's about to cry, when Karen left, and when you had to
Yeah.
regenerate?
Well, those episodes are always very difficult, I suppose. But as an actor, they're always that's where you get to explore. I think actors like doing those scenes, even though they don't, or sometimes. So you just try and draw. It's a sort of bigger question about acting, really. You draw on your own experience, or you invest enough by that time in the story that it's upsetting anyway when someone like Amy Pond goes, because you've got all this history together. But I think you try and prepare as much as you can, and you think about the scene in as clear a way as you can, and you think about the emotional triggers of the scene, as it were. And then, you try and let yourself be open and run free and see what happens, really. And take risks, and not try and govern or control it too much when it's an upsetting thing, because then it feels manufactured. But everyone has their own way into that kind of stuff. It's sort of something that you evolve and get better at, I think. It's an ongoing exploration, essentially. That makes sense. A bit actory, sorry.
It does, but for those of you that aren't familiar with film sets, they're not alone on a stage. There are 30 crew people standing around, doing their job. So, you have to create that intimacy as a good actor. So it's tough, but it's sold well. It didn't appear manufactured at all.
Yeah.
It got all of us, right?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Next question? Oh, this side.
Hi, I'm Zoe. What was the hardest part of being the doctor?
Probably, well, it sort of depends really. It's a wonderful job, but it's not without its difficulties. I mean, I live in London, you have to go and live in Cardiff. It's a great hardship, it's not that far, but you are away from home, you know, and the workload is so, this is what Jodie's going to have coming away, it's so enormous. You never really have another job like it, because you're at the centre of every story, you're the sort of narrative mouthpiece. So it's those hours. But look, it's good to work hard. That's the thing. And then what else? You know, it's leaving it. It's really hard as well. That's tough. But I think it's the line learning and the workload and the just the constantness of that schedule, which is really, really taxing and challenging, but rewarding at the same time.
Do you feel that losing your anonymity on a global scale would be part of that challenge?
Well, I say, you know, that's the thing that you kind of evolve with as well, I suppose. And that's the other thing. Nothing can really prepare you for whatever this idea we have. I don't really know what it is either, fame or being recognised or what that is. It's just it becomes a functional part of your life. The great thing about Doctor Who is everyone's really nice. Generally, everyone just wants to be nice to you and not. You know what I mean? They're not out to sort of, they just want to share a moment with you. And what's weird nowadays is that it's quite nice when you're the Doctor and you meet children, because children want to engage with the character and the person. And in the modern world that we live in, I'm afraid to say, often, sometimes, if you're out and about, a lot of people just want the picture. It's not about the moment. And yeah, I try and, you know, for me it's more about the moment, not, I'm not on Twitter or Instagram or any of those things, so I don't engage in that world in quite the same way, but that's
And
the way.
there's nothing wrong with that at all.
No.
You have to have your time.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with also wanting to live through that world. Right? So it's, you know, both are very valid ways of doing it, but it's just, I guess it's an interesting thing that's happened over the past 4 or 5 years that has become very much part of the acting community, I suppose, as an actor. Like, a lot of actors are very engaged in that thing, but a lot of people are. That's it. It's how we communicate with one another, but not children. Children, and that's what's always kind of interesting, or at least it was more so when I was the Doctor and on the telly, I think.
Because they're coming from a place of innocence and curiosity.
Yeah, and they'd be like, whoa. And you'd be like, yeah. Do you know what I mean? And you can like go, whoa, you want to go, yeah, and then you can just, yeah. You can get into their imagination, it's cool.
Next question.
Hi,
So,
Matt. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Okay, so I'm studying to be an actor currently,
Good.
and I'm looking into Meisner. What technique do you use like that in everyday acting, not just on Doctor Who?
Well, that's a very interesting question. Well, I haven't used the sort of Meisner thing. I'd have to reinvestigate that. But I think that sort of thing is a good thing to do if you're trying to be an actor, is to sort of invest in all those different forms and processes and disciplines as much as you can, and you should do other ones as well. And then, but for me, you know, I think what's quite fortuitous about being an actor is that what's nice about it is that, let's say I get a job in a movie about the Second World War, you then get to go and immerse and learn and research, you know, the Second World War, and you get to learn about a little pocket of life. Or let's say I get a movie playing, or I play Patrick Bateman and I'm a serial killer. I mean, that's a bad example, but it's a terrible example. But you know, you get to rewire the way you think, and I think if you can try and do that and really explore the sort of far reaches of your own imagination, then what a great way to spend a day, you know. Which is why I kind of like these conventions, because people get to exist in their imaginations, and our lives are so, you know, we're caught up in this gravy train of stuff all the time, and here people get to dress up and be anonymous and be a character and be someone else for a few days. And I think that's, as adults, I think that's such an amazing thing in a community of people, because, you know, we lose that sense of, we become more cynical and lose that sense of play a bit. Sorry, I'm getting quite serious now.
No, it's but we celebrate that. When everyone identifies in their cosplay or their costume, you feel an empowerment, right?
Yeah,
that you're
really
speaking a part of you that you want to show others that aren't going to judge you for it, that are going to embrace it. And that's really what acting is.
Yeah, and but yeah, so I just keep going and keep exploring all those different disciplines and take risks, be brave, don't give up.
Never surrender.
Yeah.
Next question.
So since all of my other questions already got asked,
Sorry, man.
it's alright. You said you love any and all things Batman.
I do.
So we can assume he's your favorite hero. Who's your favorite villain?
Ever? What, in the Batman universe?
Any universe.
Ooh. That's a good
Not
question.
River.
Oh God. Well, look, it's a very, very tough question. I mean, look. I love the Joker. I love Nicholson as the Joker. I love Ledger as the Joker. I love the Joker. Who else? Let's think about this. I love the Master. I think he's a brilliant villain. These are all a bit close to home. I want to find someone who's a bit more. Do you know who I think? Well, it's not really in the sort of like superhero universe though. But I think Javier Bardem in No Country for Old Men is a brilliant villain. Yeah, he's very amazing. And then the child catcher in Chi Chi Bang Bang. Yeah, I don't know. Who's your favourite villain?
Venom and Killer Frost.
Nice. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Next question.
Hi Matt, I'm Christy.
Hey.
Before I ask my question, I wanted to tell you hello from my best friend Jackie, because she got me into Doctor Who when we were roommates, and I came home and she was sobbing over Angels Take Manhattan.
Good.
So Jackie says hello.
Hi, Jackie.
So for my question, who is your favorite companion besides your own companions?
Oh, good one. So, discounting my own, if I could travel with one of them, also just because she's like one of my close friends in real life, it would be Rose Biddy.
I love her.
She's amazing. The thing about Biddy is, she is actually amazing. She's an amazing woman. She really is. Power. Yeah, she's cool, man. And she's rock and roll. She's everything. Everything you want from them. She's a total rock star.
I get to moderate her panel later today.
Do you?
Good to know.
Oh yeah, she's the best. She is the best.
So if you're not busy, you should drop by and say hi.
Well, yeah, okay.
I love setting people up in front of thousands of people.
Yeah.
Right, sure. Just kidding. But it's good to know that she's the one that you would choose, because
You'll
she's
love
so
her.
lovely. I
Yeah.
can't wait to meet her.
You'll love her.
Next question.
Hello, I'm the Incredible Hulk.
Cool.
Your hair looks fantastic.
Oh, thanks, man. I put it on this morning.
2 unrelated questions. 1, are you good at football in real life, like in the episode where you're Craig's flatmate, or a jock and good at any other sports? And 2, any actors that have influenced you throughout your career, and specifically in your portrayal of the Doctor?
Wow, 2 good questions. Well, yes, I am quite good at football actually, if I may say so myself. Or at least I used to be. So yeah, and I love sports. I love watching sport. I always love playing it in many different forms. Yes, and in terms of the acting, do you know? Yes, there were. Well, okay. So there was an English sitcom called Some Mothers Do Have Them. Yeah, man. One boy, I like that. One guy knows. Yes, and he's not even in the audience. Rock on, dude. And it was about this sort of hapless man. Google it, just Google it. Some mothers do have them. Frank Spencer, and you'll see a bit of my doctor in there somewhere. And then also, Peter Sellers was a big influence on me. And if any of you haven't seen the big campy movies, watch those, and, you know, he's amazing. And just, yeah, so they were, and then all, you know, I love Jack Nicholson. I think he's a really special actor. And all these people that influence you sort of subconsciously that you don't really know about, but yeah, you know, rich and varied. And I listen to a lot of music. I used to write stories. Anyway, yeah, I did lots of things. Good question, Nick. Thank you.
Somebody was asking, another moderator was like, you should ask Matt about his thoughts on college football here in the States.
Yeah, it was yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Here's what I think about college football. Absolutely nothing. I mean, but what I will say is this. What I find interesting about the whole system is that, so it's what, kids who are like 17 to 21?
Yes.
And yesterday was like two really good teams, right? But so then some of those kids will go and make the draft, basically, to play in the NFL. But then a lot of them won't. And what I find interesting and sort of beguiling at the same time is that, but it's so huge. These kids are stars before they're actually professional athletes.
Right.
Which is, I don't know, interesting and mad. But people say they prefer it to the NFL. Yeah.
What say you guys? College football?
Really? Well, look, I'll check it out. Or not, I don't know,
Next question.
Hi,
Hello.
I'm Genevieve.
Hello, Genevieve.
My question is, what was your favorite off-screen moment on set?
Ooh, it's a very good question. We had, me and Karen and Arthur, so when the 11th Hour came out and it came to America, we didn't really know how the Americans, like you're not here, how America was going to receive it, or receive my doctor, or you know, and the show had a presence here, and I know a lot of you have been watching it for many years, but actually, culturally, in the last sort of 6 or 7 years, it's really had much more presence. And there was a screening in New York of the 11th Hour, and there was a real energy and buzz in this amazing theatre in New York. And me and Karen and Arthur were just like, wow, I think they like it. And then we had this just amazing evening in New York together, and we'd finished the season like the few days before, and it just felt like a really special moment. So that was.
I had seen some photographs of the paparazzi that lined up around Centennial Park and the crowds of fans, and that was something that you weren't very used to in England, because Doctor Who is so ingrained in their culture, it's just another thing.
Yeah, and then suddenly it was, you know, and kind of America responds to it in a different way. It's kind of, you guys wear your hearts on your sleeve in a much more open way. As Brits we're quite tangled up, you know. Oh, I like it, yeah, it's good, you know. You know, how are you feeling? Yeah, I'm fine. Everything's sort of in here and tight. Anyway, so yeah, that was a really special moment.